with big, bold, beautiful flowers and incredible ease of growth, amaryllis are always one of the most popular plants for the holiday season. But with so many different options available on the market, some of you might be wondering, what should I buy and where should I start? I'm Joe Gadbois with Greenland Garden Centre, and in this video we'll give you all the information you need to know to grow beautiful amaryllis this holiday season. So we'll start with some of the different retail configurations that are available to buy amaryllis in. The first is the packaged bulb. So this is a really good way to go if you're looking for specific named varieties. The best selection that's available is going to be as a packaged bulb. Now you can get these in a number of different color patterns and such, and there's kind of two main lines with the packaged bulbs. So most amaryllis, like this Strong King, will take 8 to 10 weeks to flower after planting. But there's also the Santa's Little Helper series. The Santa's Little Helper series, these are pre-conditioned, so these will actually flower 4 to 6 weeks after planting, and they're each named after one of Santa's reindeer, so kind of a cute way to go if you're planting with kids. The next form that you can buy amaryllis in is these planting kits. So these are really good for first-time growers. They make a great gift. And they basically come with everything you need to grow your amaryllis. So if you don't have the soil, the pots, etc., this comes with the pot, it comes with the soil, it's ready to go. The only thing I'll say about these kits, they do tell you, the color of the flower that you're going to have, and they tell you the variety that you're going to get. But just keep in mind, if you're giving this as a gift, these guys, if they're sitting in the box until Christmas time, they're going to be bursting out of the box. So basically just give it as an early Christmas gift, but a really good way to go as well. And then the third option is the waxed amaryllis. So these guys are really cool and again a great gift, especially for somebody who's not particularly good at gardening, because these are literally zero care. So the wax prevents the bulb from desiccating. And interestingly, amaryllis have everything they need to produce the flower packed into this bulb. They don't need water, they don't need soil, they don't need nutrients. So as long as it's encased in this wax, you can just sit this on a counter in a bright area. This is going to flower for you with zero care. And then if you do want to grow it on, you have that option after flowering is finished. So we'll get into the care directions in just a moment. But these come in different colors with the wax. So you can see some examples here, and they even have, for the kids, these really cool reindeer and snowman versions. So just a really fun way to kind of get kids interested in things that grow, which I think is fantastic. So when it comes to growing amaryllis, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. So here's what the bulb looks like when you take it out of the package. This is Santiago. So beautiful, huge flowers on that guy. You can see I've just taken it out of the package. Now you can do something quite decorative like this, where you're planting it into a terrarium or a vase or something like that. You can put some decorative rock in there. That's one option. You just have to be really careful with the watering when you don't have drainage holes. Another way you can do it is you can put it into one of these bulb vases. So you're literally just sitting the bulb on top of the vase and then filling it up with water to just below the bulb. You do not want to have the water actually touching the bulb. So the idea is the roots are going to actually come down and grow into the water. You'll want to change the water at least once a week to make sure it doesn't go stagnant. And then again, if you want to grow the plant on after that, you can just remove it from the vase and pot it up into soil after it's done blooming. What I'm going to demonstrate in the video today is how to actually plant an amaryllis bulb traditionally in a pot. And this is the best way to grow them as sort of a long-term method. So all that you need is a 6-inch pot. This is just a regular 6-inch grower pot. You can use a decorative pot too, ceramic, clay, doesn't really matter. Or you can plant it into the plastic and slip that into a decorative pot. I've got some potting soil here. So I'm just basically going to fill the pot about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way up with soil. And then all I do is I take my bulb, I'm going to sit that on top of the soil. Actually, I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to sit that on top of the soil, put a little bit more soil around it, and then I'm just going to sort of lightly compress the soil around the bulb, fill in a little bit more. And the idea is at the end, your soil should be obviously just kind of above the rim so it's not overflowing, but you want half to 2/3 of that bulb sticking out of the soil. So you don't want to be completely burying the bulb. So that's about the level that you want to be at. And then you're just going to water it in lightly. So when you first plant an amaryllis into soil, you want to keep the soil just kind of barely moist until you start to see growth coming out of the bulb. Place it in a brightly lit area, so close to a window ideally, or under grow lights. And you're just kind of keeping it a little bit on the dry side until you start to see that growth coming out. Once you see growth, you can start to increase the watering, keep the soil evenly moist but not wet. Never want to have the pot sitting in water or anything like that. And that's about it. So like I say, most amaryllis, they're going to flower 8 to 10 weeks from planting. If you're going with the Santa's Little Helper series, those guys will flower 4 to 6 weeks from planting. And now, if you are interested in keeping your amaryllis over after it's finished blooming, I'll go over the year-round care directions. And it's a great idea to do this if you really like amaryllis, because every year the plants are going to get larger, you're going to get more flowers out of them, growing them year after year. So after the flowering is finished, you're going to have leaves coming out. Those leaves are going to get quite floppy, but you do not want to cut them off, so you can support them to keep them upright. The leaves are going to feed the bulb so that the plant will flower next year. So keep it in a brightly lit area and start fertilizing weekly with a 20/20 or 15/30/15 fertilizer, and then just keep that soil evenly moist. Once the danger of frost has passed, place the plant ideally outside in a location that is protected from afternoon sun, and continue fertilizing it weekly. And then about middle to late August, you want to actually stop watering, stop fertilizing, let that plant yellow off. The leaves will yellow off, die back, cut all the dead foliage off, and then bring it into a cool, dark location indoors and keep it bone dry for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then you can pot it up in the fall and start all over again and get flowers in time for Christmas. So that's pretty much the complete directions for planting and care on amaryllis. Now, another fun sort of holiday or Christmas bulb that you can grow is the paperwhite. Same basic principle as the amaryllis, but it grows much faster. So very simple. You can either do it in a vase with some gravel like this, whoops, or you can put it into a pot, just throw some soil in there, place the bulb on top, bury it about halfway. And again, grows very similar to the amaryllis. So just place it in a bright area, keep the soil evenly moist, and you'll have these very fragrant sort of white flowers coming out very, very quickly. They do grow faster than the amaryllis do. And this is a bulb that you just throw out after you're finished with it. There's not really any point keeping it over, because unfortunately when you force paperwhites, it kind of depletes the energy in that bulb. But a really fun way to kind of get the kids interested, especially in growing things, and super cheap and just enjoyable to grow. So that's the paperwhites. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out our website at greenlandgarden.com for lots of great helpful tips on gardening and landscaping. Subscribe to us on YouTube, throw us a like if you enjoyed the video, and also check out our Facebook and Instagram for lots of great content. Thanks so much. Take care.